Stretch a minute time, stretch a minute time.
You got us a cool song coming yet for that thing?
We can't play music because of Facebook. We have great music on, but we can't play it. Every time we play music, we get put in time out.
They lock us up.
They can hear us. Hey Gail, hey everybody. Hey.
Look at that little hey.
Hey folks. We're gonna have to get us some. Let me get my chair so I can see.
The chair.
Yeah. So I can talk to them.
Sit there. Okay.
Then we'll get started. Come here.
Okay.
Sit. Hey y'all. Good evening. Good evening. Hey, this is like one of those cooking shows where the dinner's already prepared. You know, the actual final meal, but we're pretending we haven't worked out.
Right.
Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Hello. Hey, we're going to get started with this here in just a moment. I'm going to let a few more people get in. I'm Travis. This is
Sasha.
Sasha. And we're talking Stretch a Minute today. I hope everybody had a really, really good day. Get over here. You're prettier than me. Hope everybody had a really, really amazing day. It's day one, February the 1st, 2021, 6-month transformation. That sounds like a long time. I think I swore I'd never do a long transformation, a long challenge again. Mm-hmm. This is not a challenge. This is a transformation. My blood sugar's low right now. I just got through my steps, so bear with us as we get into this. So we've got our Stretch a Minute device tonight. We're going to start showing folks how to use the Stretch a Minute. We think that it's a big deal. At least I do. Sasha's going to learn that it's a big deal. You've seen these things laying around our home for how long?
Forever.
Forever.
Many years, yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome. I actually met the guy that invented the Stretch a Minute. I met him probably around 2006, the first Arnold Classic that I went to. And his name's Mickey Fluge. Met Mickey. He was the inventor of it, and he was marketing it to bodybuilders for like a pre-workout stretching kind of situation, and then teaching them how to do isometric holds and such, static holds, planks more effectively, different ab and core work more effectively. And I was definitely not in good shape. I'd lost a lot of weight, but I've just always loved bodybuilding and the culture and everything. I just never had either the time or the desire and commitment and all that it takes to do it. So I just wanted to eat right, keep the weight off, and stand back and watch those guys work really hard and dream of one day doing that myself, etc. So anywho, I ended up purchasing a couple of the Stretch a Minute devices. I was so impressed with it, even though it was a very simple device. And in 2010, I was at a gym in Rome, and I herniated a disc doing Turkish get-ups with a kettlebell in my deconditioned body, and I didn't know proper form, and I did it, and I herniated a disc. Within weeks later, I hurt it again, and the next thing I knew, I was in terrible, terrible condition. I had a severely herniated disc that had impinged my sciatic nerve. I could not walk. They did the MRI, said, "You've got to have surgery." I was starting to lose feeling in my lower body. It wasn't fun. You watched me actually crawl out of my truck into the office. It was terrible. But after surgery, I was better. But I didn't do any exercises. I didn't do any core work, core stability work. I didn't do any back work. I didn't do any stretching. I didn't do any walking. I was just eating right to keep my weight off. And I herniated my L5. And to this day, as far as I know, it's still herniated. But I have managed it and my sciatica with walking, keeping those discs lubricated. Of course, my L5 isn't herniated to the degree that my L4 was, or one would have to have surgery, but I have maintained decent health and condition with walking, and incorporating a lot more core work, because a lot of your back health comes from your core stability. I had a very weak core. I still don't have the strongest core, but I work on it. And of course, keeping your weight off is going to help. The more weight that you carry on your frame, the more those discs are going to compress against those nerves or bulge and rub up against your nerves. So getting the weight off is paramount. But then walking and stretching. I have also found there's a lot of good strengthening exercises you can do with the Stretch-A-Minute. We won't be getting into that tonight. We're going to mostly get into the stretching and some morning or evening rituals that you can do that I have found really beneficial. But to shorten that story, I've been using Stretch-A-Minute since then. And I was getting worried about my units because I have wore them slap out. I've got one of them in here tonight that may go on and wear out. But so far, I just pop another battery in them, and they've been good for a decade. But the Stretch-A-Minute is amazing. I think if you incorporate it into your routine on a consistent basis, you're going to find that your core is stronger, looks better as you shed the fat layer off that covers that core, and that your back health is much better. A lot of your back pain is going to come from tight glutes, tight hamstrings, and tight quadricep muscles, and a weak core. So what we're going to do tonight is definitely done with consistency, going to go a great way towards helping any of you that are dealing with those debilitating conditions like I have over the years. And thank goodness I got in touch with Mickey. I tracked him down how long? Honestly, 2 years, 3 years, leaving emails everywhere trying to get him. He had moved on to bigger and better things. He actually now franchises out and owns some male spa concept. But I finally tracked him down, and we've got exclusivity with them, and we're manufacturing them, and we think it's going to be a big hit. The things that we're doing tonight can be done with an ordinary, I call it the green strap. I've got a green strap as well. I'll pull it out one night. I don't like it like I like the Stretch-A-Minute. There's something about hearing that positive feedback that beat gives you that allows you to know I held it long enough without you having to look at your timer on your phone or being interrupted by your phone. Another big deal, and then I'll get on with it. Another big deal for me has been, I love let's call it self-nurturing. It took me 49 years to even try to think through that process, but I love to look at the Stretch-A-Minute as not an exercise routine, but a morning or evening ritual. Or if I'm stressed, you should have done it today. You should have done it today.
I'm doing it now.
She's been so stressed today.
It's Monday.
Which then I make her mad because I'm out. You okay? Did I do something? Did I do something wrong? You okay? Because usually I've done something wrong. And anyway, she says I haven't. She says I haven't. But anywho, we're going to show you a morning ritual. I hope you'll do what we've done. We've got it set up by our altar. And we're liable to break out the bongos and play them terribly here in a minute. We would have some good music. I like good music to kind of flow. It's not pretty when I flow like one of those beach body workouts, but I just do my thing. And I love to listen to my music, listen to the Bible, get some good smells going on in here, get some candles going, and just relax. Just zone out. Then it doesn't feel like one more exercise routine that you have to do. It feels almost like worship for me at times. And some of you, I hope you'll try that. I think you'll find that you feel the same way about the Stretch-A-Minute. So hello, everybody. Hello. We're going to get started with this wonderful device. Let me grab one.
Okay.
You grab another in case we can't remember which one's the old one. And Sasha, if you'll come over here, I'm sitting just so we'll stand in a minute. So this is our Stretch-A-Minute. Looks like nunchucks. Can everybody hear me okay? Everybody good? So this is like our nunchucks, okay? And you will see that on one end, you've got the little, I'm going to call it a speaker. This is where your battery is housed. And this is where the timer begins to go into its 1 minute loop that it goes into. When we stretch it, there's a thing in there that pulls. Sometimes if you pull too hard, you might think you broke it, but it's become unscrewed. You just screw it back in. But you don't have to be rough with them, but they're really durable. So I've got my little speaker on this end, and there's nothing on this end. And we can lengthen and shorten this device, okay? So lengthening it and shortening it is much easier to just do than to describe. But lengthening and shortening is pretty easy to do. And then we're going to learn 3 grips, okay? We've got what I call, I don't know what the book's going to call it. I haven't looked at the book in years. But we've got the inline, okay? Most of your stretching movements will be done with an inline grip, okay? So an inline grip, when I pull out, if I keep tension, it starts the timer, okay? Then in 10 seconds, it's going to beat. It beat. And then in 20 seconds, it's going to go beat, beat. Now, if I lose tension, it's going to start over. Okay? So I want to maintain tension until I get that positive feedback of a 1 minute stretch. Now, this device was, Mickey he put a lot of money, I think he said $250,000 just in research with athletes and all this kind of stuff, rehab type patients. So there's something very beneficial about holding static stretches for 60 seconds. Not any longer and not any shorter. Some of these movements that we're going to do, we're going to flow from one thing to the next every 10 seconds. Some will be static holds for 1 minute. If you can't do a minute, we don't worry about that. We do 30 seconds. And then next week we'll go to 40 seconds and so on and so forth. We focus on what we can do, not on what we cannot do. So that's the inline grip that we will use for most stretches. Now, this is a little too long even for me, so I'm going to shorten it when I do my movements. When we're doing our stretches, you'll notice when we do the hamstring stretch that you might want to start with it very long, because if it's too short, and especially if you have long legs and short arms, then it's going to be too much of a stretch for you. You'll want to work up to shortening it and working up to you get to a point where you can easily just grab hold of your heels in some of these movements. So you'll be at that level pretty quick. I don't know if I'll ever get to that level because of my back, but I'm getting there. I can do a pretty good stretch. So I guess we'll just start with you, and we'll show you all a morning ritual. There are many morning stretches. Get out of the bed, grab this thing, start praying, and get your stretches in. You'll feel so much better, I promise. We will work in this week some strength training exercises with it too, which will require a different grip. When I'm doing push-ups, I'm not going to have it this way. I'm going to have it this way. And then there's even some grips, and you could do push-ups like this too, where you'll have it in an angle grip. So we'll learn about the different grips and the different exercises. There's so many. I've probably come up with another 10 that aren't even in the book that I love. Like for some of you in a little better shape, the wall walk, where you hold, you get upside down, you walk up the wall, push yourself up back to the wall, and you hold that, and that will really build up your shoulders, etc. So we're going to get started. Y'all ready? You want to see some of these movements?
I've done a few of these, but not a lot of what he's about to show. So it'll be good to see hopefully how very easy they are to do.
They're
but it's
easy,
good
yeah.
to be. I'm kind of doing some of these for the first time too. So it's very easy. And it does remind me a lot of a little bit more of a little bit of yoga, a little bit of the what was that thing that I was doing? That was the wall. That was the I forget now. It's been a few months since I've done it, but it's real the flow and it's a little bit more structured for me doing at home exercises.
Okay,
Than
and
just
we'll turn different angles so that you can see. But the first thing you're going to want to do when you get up in the morning, you get that device and you stand feet shoulder width apart, right? So you want your feet just a little wider. You want a good athletic stance. So for example, for my liking, her feet are too close together. Her feet are too close together. So we want a good athletic stance. If you've those of you that watch baseball and you've seen a shortstop, he's got a wide stance, not quite that wide, but feet shoulder width apart. Shoulder width means in line with my shoulders. So that's better. So she's got a good now. This foot, get them toes even. All right. So she's got a good shoulder width stance. The next thing, believe it. Have any of you ever hurt your back? I mean, you've exercised your back. Stay with me. You've exercised and you've worked out, no problems. Then you go to pick up something as light off of the floor as a coaster, and your back go out. Has anybody ever had that happen? I've had it happen many times. Anybody? I'm not going to wait on the delay, but I'm betting you have. Okay, so think about a baby, right? A baby, when it picks up something from the floor, it doesn't bend over. It squats down with its core tight so that it doesn't fall over. A baby naturally knows to squat down, core tight, and to pick something up from the floor and stand up, heels pressed into the floor. So when we move later this week into squats and things of this nature, that really, sincerely, folks, is going to rehab some of you that haven't been active in years. It's going to rehab you so fast because we're going to get blood flow to these areas where blood flow hasn't been, and we're going to reconstitute muscle. So we want to be really careful. Make sure we're in good posture at all times. And this will be a good habit. If you do this every morning or every night, you'll be developing good habits that will save your back later. Because I'm really bad. Just reach down and my back go out. Okay? And I'm getting better and better and better. You squat down. Looks like I got a pee-pee or something, or poo-poo. Sorry. But, what are you doing? Well, I'm saving my back. So you squat down, you pick up even the lightest of things. So her feet are shoulder width apart, heels into the ground. That's what we want. But I think even the more important part is her abs need to be tight when she does this movement. Every movement that you do that's an athletic movement or a stretch, abs always tight. Not sucked in, but tight. And here's the way I teach people to keep their abs tight. So Sasha is relaxed right now. That's not the way you want to do any athletic movement. So if I were to, and she knew it was coming, I were going to punch her in the stomach, she would tighten up, right? She would contract the abdominal muscles to protect her inner organs. She would do that naturally. So going to hit. Now she's holding it tight. And that's how I want her to perform all these movements, is with a tight core. And I want her to breathe. We want to inhale through our nose, exhale through our mouth. Inhale through our nose, exhale through our mouth. Is everybody good? Can y'all hear me okay? I'm going to edit this video so the pre-record is not so long-winded. But all right. Now, first thing she's going to do, she's going to get up in the morning from now on, right?
Right.
And she's going to do a simple good morning. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear the beat. We will be able to hear the beat. Now, the first thing I'm going to ask her to do is get up and look up to the sky. Stretch them in about the right distance for it. Yeah, look up. And reach up to the sky, put some tension, keep the tension. And you're just going to stretch, and you just keep trying to stretch more too. You'll just keep reaching. You want to feel it in your shoulders. You want to feel it in your chest. And it just beeped. Now, it beeped once, and she's going to now, good morning to the side. And each time she does this, we're going to try to get a little further. Now come back up to the top, reach to the sky. Reach to the sky. She's going to do it the proper time. And I'll show you something when she gets done. So now we're going to come to this side. Yeah, that's good. And there's so many flows we can do. This is a beginner flow. We're stretching. We're waking up everything before we do anything. So she's got it tight. So reach up higher, babe. Reach up high. Reach up high. Try to touch the ceiling without jumping. Now go to that side. Yep. So she's doing her good mornings. Good. All right. So that's it. That's it. It's so simple. You say, what's so good about that? Well, if you were to get up in the morning and just do good mornings, the first thing you're going to do is go, oh, okay. I mean, come over here. And you won't hold these movements long enough. It doesn't give that muscle time to stretch, or that fascia that's covering that muscle time, that net that's over the muscle, doesn't give it time to stretch either. So with the stretch a minute, you get that positive feedback so that you know that you've held the movement long enough, and it's just satisfying. At least it is for me. Okay, so she's woken up a little bit, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to stretch out the chest. Let me give you this one. It's already a little shorter. So she's going to come back here and she's going to hold the stretch a minute like this, right? She's going to hold it. She's going to get some tension. She's going to stretch, going to push her chest out. Boom. So, all right, I've got it tight. And then after my other beat, I'm going to come down. I'm going to look straight ahead. I'm not going to look way up here. I'm not going to look down. I'm going to look straight ahead. And I'm going to get a good stretch. And between every 10 seconds, I'm going to repeat. Yep. Abs tight. Abs tight. All right. Now, good stretch right here. Well, you go ahead. Go ahead. It's okay. It doesn't matter where you start. So you want to feel this in your chest. Now you come back. Keep it. Now push your chest out. There you go. Abs tight. And her feet weren't quite shoulder width apart, so if you notice, she moved them out some because she's going to tip over. Now think about every day how we just get up and we go to work, we get up, we do what we're going to do. Our muscles aren't warmed up, our muscles aren't stretched, no blood flow's going to the muscles. Not a good thing, right? We want a good thing. We want that blood flow, those nutrients to get to those muscles. So boom. So now what she's done so far, she's stretched out her shoulders some, she's stretched out her chest some. She's starting to do good. Now we want to definitely stretch our shoulders. So the next movement she's going to do, you got to be careful with this one, because if you try to do it too intensely, you'll blow your shoulder out. We don't want to do that, but we want to warm our shoulders up. This is good for those of you that's doing shoulder workouts. Even if you've done your morning ritual, before you do any bench pressing, Jonathan, all of you guys out there, bench pressing, kettlebell movements, shoulder laterals, front raises, side raises, before you do any of that, you should do this stretch, these two stretches that we're going to show you, and it will save your shoulder health. It'll save your rotator cuffs. Okay, so we're going to do that movement we talked about earlier, where you're here. Mm-hmm. So all I'm doing, I've got this, abs tight, and I'm holding it, and I reach back here. Now this is too long for me, but that's okay. I would want to shorten it a little bit to find the right length. So what I'm going to do is pull down, and I'm stretching my tricep right now. I'm going to hold for 10 seconds. Then I'm going to pull up and stretch the other one. I'm pulling, my arm went straight up, and now I'm pulling this one up my back. Right in the middle of my shoulder blade. And then I can even come out here for a different kind of stretch on that same shoulder. And then I can come back here. And I'm going to finish that sequence for 1 minute. So you want to try it? Let me shorten it for you. You want to shorten it? Okay. See if we got questions. Any questions so far?
About this.
Yeah, put it back there and see. You don't want a painful pull. You want You don't want it to be pain, but a little discomfort is going to be normal because your shoulders are so tight. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 10 seconds. She's going to hold this one for 10. You feel it right here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then you'll go out here, this way. Yep. All you're doing now is pulling it that way, pulling your hand this way. There you go. You feel it right here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now go back. Same thing. Keep it up.
Right here?
Yep. And it's going to beep again. And you're going to take this hand. You're going to pull this tricep. Pull this arm lever down so that this here you go. Pull, pull, pull. Perfect. So she does both shoulders. Her shoulders are warmed up, ready to exercise. Let me see what else they're saying. Mine's not beeping. Okay, hold on, Robin. How do I make you know how long to make it? Katrina, you can start off with it long. Start off with it at its longest, at the longest length. The longest it will go will be the two buckles the furthest apart. If you get through that routine and it wasn't painful, you're going to want to shorten that next time. You want to keep shortening it until you can do it, these stretches on the shortest setting. Allison is asking if I'm using this as my workout or just a stretch prior to a workout. So, Stretch a Minute is ideal to stretch, to build core stability, for posture, for your back health, and then the strengthening exercises that we're going to do come after the stretching routines. You're not going to want to stay with me all night because I'm not going straight through the routine. We're going to do another session later this week to talk about push-ups, sit-ups, strengthening exercises. And we place those. If you haven't watched my triangle exercise system, we place these movements within the triangle exercise system. So, for example, after we stretch, we may do some push-ups with the Stretch a Minute. And then we may go into some squat thrust without the Stretch a Minute. Then we may come back and get our Stretch a Minute and do body weight squats with the Stretch a Minute. It is a fabulous exercise device to build strength. But tonight, we're focusing on stretching. Stretching is so underrated. A lot of people don't have a lot of strength when they go to doing resistance training because their muscles are so tight and they can't get a full range of motion. Without a full range of motion, then you're setting yourself up for failure. And I want to make I learned the hard way myself. It's real sexy to grab that dumbbell and get going. It's awesome to get under that bench and start powering those bench presses up. But not only are you limiting your strength, not only are you setting yourself up for injury, you're not working all these stabilizer muscles that you need to be working that really build strength and cause the muscles, once we get that extra layer of fat off, to give that really defined look that we're all here looking for. So it's a versatile device that's meant to be used as a piece of stretching equipment and also an exercise device. Amanda, I don't remember saying that we do this with a resistance band thing. I use resistance bands. So that might look like I just do a minute of push-ups, and I'll show you in a minute. We'll do one just so that y'all can go, okay, we can exercise. All right. So resistance bands are part of my training. At my age, I don't like to do a lot of weightlifting stuff. Okay, CrossFit. I did that for 2 years, kept getting hurt. Heavy weights, high intensity, not meant to go together, in my opinion. If you're doing doing a CrossFit, fabulous. I'm certain that they warm you up before they work you out. They did us. So resistance bands for me might look like I just did push-ups with the Stretch a Minute. Okay. Hope some of you got yours out. I'll prove to you in a minute. Is it okay? So you know how I told you they would do this. So we'll show them. Yeah. Okay. So Resistance band might look like I did push-ups with my Stretch a Minute, and then I get my resistance bands out and I do tricep extensions with those, and then I go back to the Stretch a Minute. So no, it's okay, it's okay. Y'all want to exercise, and my point here is we all want to go lift weight. Tell me I'm wrong. We all want to go lift weights. So many of us want to go lift weights, want to get to the gym, want to get on, I want my transformation. And the problem with that is we can't even handle our own body weight. Does it make sense to lift a lot of weights if we can't handle our own body weight? I know people that's bench pressing and they can't even do one strict push-up. That doesn't make sense to me. You can't handle your own body weight, but you're getting under 225 pounds under a bar. I mean, it doesn't make sense. We want to do things the right way. So what we're doing is learning, and at least that's what this 6-month transformation was about. We were going to learn to do things the right way. And what we're going to find is it takes longer to do things the right way. I typically run a mile, then straight to weights. Thank you for addressing. It's very important, especially the older we get. All right. So
if I just to say real quick, even just what I just already did, even the I think that you have the right terms, but you're not only just stretching your muscles. I'm using muscles to stretch my muscles. So I'm using my own because I feel I feel like I've been doing curls or something, even though I haven't been. But it's like you're using your own muscle to pull and to stretch, and so while you're stretching one side, the other side is working. So it's not like it's just I feel it in my arms and in my shoulders and even in my abs, just because it's a totally different kind of movement, I think, when you're where you're pulling this yourself versus just reaching your arm up on your own.
It isn't. And I can take a Stretch a Minute. I can take a good nutrition program, and I can take the Stretch a Minute, and in 6 months, I will look better than anybody who's just going to the gym and not so worried about how they're eating or they're eating too much. Promise you. So, and this is also a device, we do a lot of moving around. So you're staying in a hotel. We noticed COVID couldn't get into gyms when we were staying in hotels. So the Stretch a Minute is ideal because you start doing push-ups, you start doing dips, you start doing squats with this. I hope some of you got yours out. Now, somebody said theirs is not beeping. If yours isn't beeping, make sure that you unscrew this handle. Make sure your battery, it's a watch battery. Make sure your battery's in the correct way. And if you have to, try to flip it around and try it the other way, but want to make sure your battery's in. Screw that back on. Check it. Okay, if it's not beeping, contact info@mysheboth.com and let's figure out how to get you some help. Okay, so the next one, this is what I have to do. If I don't do this, you don't see me for a while when I'm not doing this because my back goes out and I'm in pain. So with this next movement, I don't know if they can hear me too good. I guess
I think so.
I like my Zoom better.
Yeah.
So we're going to lay down. We're always going to keep our abs tight. Can they see that? I'm going to start with my right leg. Okay, so my left leg is flat. I'm going to take my big size 13 feet and I'm going to push out and I'm going to hold these nunchucks. I'm trying to straighten my leg, abs are tight, and I'm going to hold this for a minute. Now, you'll see my legs shaking. I have very tight hamstrings. So I'm stretching my glutes, I'm stretching my hammies, I'm stretching my calf. For those of you that have sciatica, this is a lifesaver. Total lifesaver. So I'm just going to do it 30 seconds. Ideally, I want to do it a minute. If I'm hurting real bad, I'll do this 3 minutes sometimes. Not at one time. I'll rest after 1 minute. But my leg is shaking because my muscle is so tight and it's stretching. So now I'm going to switch. We'll do ab work with it soon too. so that you can see that. Legs straight, right legs out. This is the bad one. This is the sciatica one. Oh, that hurts. And as I learn to use it, I can keep tension and climb up the rope and get closer and closer to my heel. Then I like to stretch my quads. So I roll on my side, wrap it around my ankle, I get the tension, gently start pulling back. When I got more room because my quad is stretching, I'll pull a little closer, get a good stretch. It feels good.
Beeper beeps after how many
Yeah,
seconds?
it's
About 10?
every 10 seconds. And we're going to talk about why that's important in a minute. So then I would do the other side. Now I'm ready to exercise, right? Okay. Questions about those stretches? Was that Robin that didn't have the beep?
I don't know.
Somebody might want, I can Zoom with her tomorrow and we can troubleshoot, or somebody can Zoom with her. Okay. So, Sasha. So, I want you to watch this. She's probably going to get mad at me in a bit. But what I want you to do, Sasha, is I want you to get down in a girl push-up posture.
This way?
Yeah, women, no offense, y'all are stronger in other areas than us men, but women, don't do it yet. Come back up. Women are notoriously weak in their upper body, okay? So this will develop upper body strength and fast. So far, Gail, the ones we're going over are in that booklet. There are many more that we will not get to today. We'll be doing daily doses, so that we're not doing hour-long videos where they're just one exercise at a time. So you can see the exercise, perform the exercise, and then you can put them together in triangle. We're going to put this all together so that we can do our own triangle exercise system, or we can do our own workouts. We can custom tailor what we need. So, Sasha, if you'll give me 5 girl push-ups. Abs tight. 5 girls. 5 girls. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. Whoa. Come back up. Okay. So she just did 5 push-ups on her knees. We want to work toward a full military push-up. Yes, women can do those too. She just did 5 girl push-ups. But now we're going to add this device. And she's never did these. And let's see if she finds a difference. Katrina's asking, should we do whole body stretch or just certain areas at a time? Well, I would do a whole body stretch, but what if you don't have time? Sometimes I don't have time. So for me, my weak area, as disclosed, is my back health. So when it's about my back health, then I'm going to stretch my hamstrings, my quadriceps, and my calf muscles. So we do what we can do with the time that we have. But I want to say again, even though it's like nutrition, when I say it's the little foxes that spoil the vines. If I tell somebody don't put too much creamer in your coffee, they go, I'm not listening to that. I ate broccoli last night. Right? Right. I need an amen. Y'all going to make me turn into Jack. So I'm telling you that before you venture into intense exercise of any type, master these stretches and these static holds. Hey, I need you to get it working. Good job. Sorry about the battery. Okay, I got batteries laid over there, don't I? I keep batteries. So, with that said, I'm telling you about these things if you will make these the core of what you do before moving on to other things, other exercises that you find appealing, if you'll just make this part, you might not even think you're working hard because you didn't break a sweat, but your muscles are getting exactly what they've been craving. Again, before she does this, I do not subscribe to what many trainers subscribe to. I used to, because it's what my trainers taught me. My trainers taught me to work out until failure. We want to work out until almost failure. Do you know what you do when you work out until failure purposely, where you can't get that last rep that you're attempting? You train the body how to fail. Let me give you an example. At the gym, we've got guys at jiu-jitsu gym, they won't tap out. So when they're in a choke, they go out so easy now because they've taught their body to go to sleep when they get choked. It'd be better just to tap out and save yourself so that you don't go out. Because it's like you watch a boxing match or something, and once somebody gets knocked out, they get knocked out so much easier. Your muscles, if you train them until failure, then you're training them how to fail. A lot of people don't agree with that. So be it. You want to work hard enough that you can always get successfully that last rep. But anyway, let's let her. She's rested plenty now. You got your stretch a minute? Is this it?
You took it.
All right. So this time she's going to get in that girl push-up posture and put tension on it. Hold up. And what I want you to do, as soon as it beeps, I want Sasha to do this. I want her to go down while there's tension on it, and I want her to hold here. And then when it beeps again, I want her to go up and hold it. When it beeps again, I want her to come down. Don't rest her body or her core on the ground. And then up again. Now, let's find out if it's more intense.
Should this be any certain width apart?
We want to make sure that you just like you would normally do a girl push-up, but your hands are going to be on those. Okay. And you're going to get tension. Come on down. You'll see. You have to pull them out. You get good tension. Now, go down. Hold it, Sasha. Abs tight. Push up and hold. Down.
Arms are shaking.
She's shaking. It's okay. Up. Is it harder this time?
Definitely.
Hold up. No momentum. She can't use momentum. She has to use good form. And she's having to keep her abs really tight. That's working her abs too. Up.
It's like a plank in the middle.
Come on. You got it. You did it. Okay. Now, come over here so they can see you good. Was that different than the first set?
Yeah.
By a factor of 2, 3 times harder? What?
Yeah, double. I mean, at least, yeah, doubly hard. It's like doing it. It's like having a plank in between each. Having to sit there and shaking. That was definitely tougher. Then
Okay.
you have that momentum.
Okay.
When you do, and I'm actually a little bit out of breath too, which is
Yeah, and the other thing
not
that
like me. I can do push-ups.
the other thing,
That's
if she's
different.
doing push-ups, she can start swaying her body. But as Gail Johnson knows, if I'm in a static position and I'm holding it, I'm going to start caving in if I don't keep my abs tight. So she's having to keep her abs tight. And obviously this is going to turn into planks and all kind of other stuff. Next thing we're going to do is a push-up. A sit-up. Sorry, crunch. So I'm going to show you 2 movements, okay? And then I'm going to get Sasha to do it, right? So if I'm doing a crunch, I've got my feet, my heels pressed into the ground. I've got my arms here A lot of people do this, but don't pull on your neck if you're doing it that way. And I'm cross here, and I'm gonna keep my spine, my lower back's gonna press through the floor. So I'm gonna come up, I'm rolling up, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you got that, right? That's not how we're gonna do them with a stretch-a-minute. With a stretch-a-minute, we're gonna do them this way. I'm gonna pull up so I get the beat, and I'm gonna roll up the same way. I'm gonna hold it.
Ouch.
Rest. Now, if I'm in good shape, I can go right back into it. I got the rest, and you're going to roll up, right? And then I could just keep going. I don't have to rest that long, but you can in the beginning. So now I'm going to let Sasha try it. You going to do it without it?
Okay.
So she's just going to do a regular crunch. Give me 5 crunches. Great. All right, now we're going to do it with a stretch-a-minute.
Oh, wait, you didn't pull it right.
Reset it. Go. Hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Down. Now, if she's in good shape, she doesn't have to rest there. But you're going to want to rest. Is that a good hurt? Mm-hmm. All right, go. Now, you don't want to use the stretch-a-minute to pull yourself up. You're just keeping enough tension on it to get the beat. You don't want to hurt your neck. You get sloppy with it and you'll be pulling on your neck. That's not what we want. You just enough tension so that you get the timer to get going, right? But you're doing the work with your abdominal muscles. Boom.
Yeah, that's pretty
Now, what I'm going to do is what we're showing you tonight, I'll start putting together in workouts for you, but now you'll know what these are. We're going to do another one. I didn't know we'd do these tonight, but you know when Amanda's here, she's all warrior out. You know, she'll warrior you up a little bit. Warrior you up and warrior you out. What am I saying? Warrior.
Y'all know with him you got to be prepared for anything, so.
Okay. Same thing, but watch. Here's what we're doing. We're going to do the good old leg lifts. Ready?
If y'all can see him. Oh.
All right, Sasha. You're going to do them without it. Okay. I want you to give me 5 leg lifts. Let's do our hands up here. That'll make it harder. Right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now let's try it with a stretch-a-minute.
Around your.
You might have to reset it.
Okay. How do you do that? Just to reset, just pull it again?
Yeah, let off the tension and then give it tension again.
Okay.
Go.
Oh, this.
Yeah, you need to come down to the floor. Hold it right there. A little lower. Come up and rest. Now come back down still. Hold it till it beeps again. Get a little rest at the top, and then you come back. She's giving me the evil look. Y'all missed it. You missed the evil look. You got it. Working the lower abdominals. Now, what we want is to start getting rid of the fat that's covering them abdominals. And then, when we get rid of that fat that's covering those abdominals, you've now built and conditioned those abdominals. Great job, babe. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Which one was harder?
That one's harder for me. That one was tough.
Yeah, if you don't have we don't ever require anything. This is just what I use. Remember, we're in the warrior group, right? So I'm going to transform over the next 6 months. So I'm just showing you what I do. But anything I show you, it's not required. There is a green strap. You can go to travismartin.tv, www.travismartin.tv, and there's a section on that website called Travis Recommends. And you'll find exercise category, and you'll find a green strap. And it's not going to beep at you, and it's not near as fun, but it'll work. You just have to set a timer or something on your smartphone. Okay, Robin said that was tough. That was good. Awesome. So another one we're going to do, then you're really getting a full body workout if you do several sets. If you stretch, just what we showed you tonight, if you stretch and then you do 3 sets of the strengthening exercises, not the stretches again, but the strengthening exercises, you've done a full body workout. So this time, we're going to do some body weight squats. So a body weight squat, abs tight, all that good stuff, and we're going down, good posture, good, and heels going to go through the ground, right? We're going to put, not on our tippy toes, our heels are going to push through the floor, abs are tight, like we're sitting in a chair. Can you slide this out of the way, baby? Now this chair is too high, okay? So you don't want to do butt taps in this chair. But just to show you the posture is my abs are tight, and it's just like I'm pretending there's a chair behind me and I'm going to sit in the chair, but there ain't going to be no chair behind me, right? And then I'm going to come up. I don't want to do this, right? Just like I'm sitting in a chair, like there's an invisible chair behind me, but it's a low chair. It's a baby chair. I want to get down there. I want to get in the pit, right? So, if I'm doing a regular body weight squat, abs tight, I go down and I come up. Heels through the floor, come up. Now, with the stretch a minute, I'm going to get the timer going. I'm going to hold it. So I hold it. Up, back down. If you're out of shape, you can stay up for a count of 10 seconds. Okay, now, you do 3 sets of that for a minute. Tell me how you feel. Let's give it a try. You're going to do them without that first. We're just going to go down and up. Remember to breathe. I'm not breathing because I'm talking, so I'm not getting in my flow and push it out. Let's do this, cross up. All right, go down. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, let's change it up. Anytime you do static holds like this, it's so much better. So she's going to kind of hold it in a static state right now with abs tight the whole time. Set your timer and then go down and hold it. When it beeps, come up and go back down. Remember to breathe. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. You're exhaling through the mouth on the hard part. Back down. Good job. So big difference in
Yeah, that's
going up, down, up, down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not holding it's tough. It's tougher.
Kimberly, how do you manage with your knee? That kills me. Okay. So number one, I have a bad knee. All right. But I'm also not 300 pounds anymore. So that has helped. And I don't go below parallel. We don't want to do movements that cause pain. Now that movement didn't cause her pain. It was challenging and it burned, but it wasn't pain. Anytime you feel pain, you don't do that anymore because your body is warning you, I'm about to blow out a knee here. So number one, we've got to get in shape. We get in shape with eating right and losing all this excess fat that we're carrying around, everyone. We've got to get rid of that. That's first and foremost. Everybody likes something new. There's not going to be nothing new that saves your life except for getting rid of excess fat. That's number one, getting rid of that excess fat. Then we move into walking. Walking should be the next priority. Walking, brisk walking, 4 miles an hour, 10,000 steps a day. You probably don't need to be incorporating any exercise other than walking and stretching until you get in a more conditioned body. You don't have to lose all your excess weight. That's not what I'm saying. But at least get in shape before you jump in the deep end and start all this lifting weights and all this stuff that you see on TV and at CrossFit. Get in a conditioned body first, then challenge yourself. Walking and stretching. Now, what Kim is talking, was it Kim? I think it was Kimberly. Kimberly is saying, but that hurts my knee, what she's doing. Don't do it. You know what? It would hurt mine too if I was just starting. So don't do it. And you work around that. Now, here's what we don't do. We don't do the following. We don't say, that hurt my knee. I'm not doing those shoulder stretches. That hurt my knee. I'm not doing those push-ups. Do you follow me, everybody? Okay, next, Jesus says, don't let your knees go past your feet or you'll blow your knees out when squatting. We want a good posture. We want abs tight. And I would suggest not going below parallel. You want your heels pressing into the ground. Yes, I think when I lose the 113, it's really going to help my torn MCL. Yeah, Kimberly, if you're at 130, if you got 113 pounds to lose, what I would suggest is getting that chair. After you get more conditioned, use a chair that's a high chair like that one and just butt tap. So if I'm just doing, we do what we can do. See, I'm already limping. I was limping because I was on one knee too long. We all got something that we got to work around, right? So if I've got a bad knee, I've got me a high chair here, I'm going to not go anywhere near even parallel. And I just touch I don't rest on it. Now look, it's still working. It's still working. My knee feels fine now. If I go much lower than this, I can feel a little pain in my knee. But if I just a little, we do what we can do. We do what we can do. Too often we throw the baby out with the bathwater. We say, I can't do this aspect, so I'm not doing none of it. Let's don't nobody do that. Anybody else? Did anybody try it? I've seen a couple people tried it. That's good. Any questions before we go? You're welcome. I just hope you use it. If you'll use it, it's going to pay dividends. Awesome, Wendy. Awesome. Thank you, Kimberly. Yeah, Amy, we're just getting started with it. There's so much fun stuff you can do, especially when you get into, I'm not going to say I'm a yoga expert, but especially when you get into some of those holds and you use the Stretch a Minute device. as a positive feedback system, ensuring you hold that static pose long enough. Planks are great with this sucker. I love doing planks with it. Exactly, Gail. And that's what it's for. Like you going to Pro Performance in Rome, they're taking you through the stretching. They're taking you through a vigorous, intense workout. This is a great home workout device. Again, I think everybody should get up first thing in the morning and do those stretches. And it's like Sasha said, she felt like she was working her muscles, not just stretching. So if you just do that for a couple of weeks and see what happens, it's not going to hurt anything. It's just a few minutes. But it's also great to have in your gym bag, take anywhere. You can always get a good workout with this. What I showed you today, Gail, I think Gail would vouch for me here because she goes to Pro Performance. You see people come into Pro Performance expecting they're 100 pounds overweight like I was. They're expecting to come out of there looking like a Greek god in a few weeks or a goddess. They can't lose any weight because they're not eating right. So I know we want it all. We want to jump off in the deep end. I did, and that's how I ended up getting hurt. So what I'm suggesting is nutrition. Has anybody here mastered the Cibola Phase 1 program? If you've mastered the Cibola Phase 1 program, I suggest now we start a good walking routine. Do y'all think about what I'm about to say? If you won't walk for an hour, you're not going to stick to Pro Performance. You're not going to stick to CrossFit. You'll go do those things because it's exciting and you got a friend that joined. But what's going to win the day is consistency. Going to the gym every day. If you're not going to go to the gym almost every day, then create, like I did, a home workout. I've got a whole gym at home. Let me take this. Let me show y'all something. Sasha, that was great. My husband was watching and listening. I hope he'll try it. My husband said, yeah, he felt the burn. Kimberly, you got to get him to doing the military-style push-ups with that thing. All right, so I'm going to just show you, like I've got everything I need in the house. Now, I can't take all this stuff with me when we're traveling, but I can take my stretch a minute and I can take my bands and get one heck of a workout. So you've got over here, I've got my inversion table for my back. And then right next door, hey, there's Bubba. Say hey to Bubba, everybody. There's Bubba. Can y'all see Bubba? That's my grappling dummy. Yes, I give Bubba hugs. And then I've got the treadmill. I'm trying to hold it at the right angle. I've got my rower. I didn't do all this overnight. I've been working on it forever. I love my rower. I've got the days that I program in my box jump, I've got me a soft one so I don't kill my shins. My box jump. I've got various bands over here. And then I've got me a rack where I do my bench presses, my squats, my pull-ups. And then over here, I've got some dumbbells, some kettlebells. And then I've got my board where I program my workouts. So when I program my workouts, trying to make sure you can see, my first one might be stretch a minute, second one might be rows, then I may do a different stretch a minute exercise, and I may do some box jumps, etc., etc., etc. And when I fill out my triangle, man, I've had one heck of a workout. I've had one heck of a workout. So I lost 100 pounds, and yeah, I was 220. That was great, but I wasn't in shape. So when I did the nutrition, the next thing I did was start walking and doing stretch a minute. Sasha, would you agree? Let me come over here. Would you agree? Again, I don't think nobody believed because I didn't believe it. My best results from a transformational standpoint, because I didn't know I had muscle under the fat. My best transformation period in time was from nothing but good nutrition and walking and stretch a minute. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Then I started incorporating weights and stuff, and I'm still making some small improvements, but nothing like getting all those steps while I was already in efficient fat burning. and then you start adding a stretch a minute in, you start adding some moderate exercise in. Now you're getting blood flow to those muscles that hadn't had blood flow to them in quite some time, and the fat's coming off too, and now you get to see all that beautiful muscle that was underneath that fat. Okay? So I hope this is a start. Now, can you get in the kind of shape that a CrossFit athlete's in, or one of the owners of Pro Performance, the kind of shape they're in, just doing stretch a minute walking? No, and I'm not suggesting that. I'm saying it should be phase one of exercise. Like you learn phase one nutrition, now we're learning intermittent fasting, and we're learning about the carnivore diet, and we're learning about paleo, and we're learning about a vegan diet. We're learning all that and doing it Cibola style with proper food combining. Yeah, we took a deeper dive, but we learned phase one first. This should be everyone's phase one. Everybody should do this and then go find them a gym once you've mastered this stuff. Again, until you can handle your own body weight, you don't need to buy the first weight. Let me close with this. Do y'all think about this with me for just a minute? The best built athletes I've ever seen on our planet are gymnasts. They're the best built. I've never seen people built better than a gymnast. And what are they working out with all the time? Their body weight. Handle your body weight, then it's time to move on. There's no use in slinging weights away from your body when you can't even handle your body weight. And believe it or not, I'm talking to me. Because I love to put the weight on that barbell. It makes me feel like a man. But until I can get 40, 50 push-ups without stopping, I don't need all that stuff. All right.
Yep.
I enjoyed connecting with you several times today. We'll try to do it again tomorrow. Thank you, Sasha. You were great. You going to use stretch a minute with me now?
I am.
See, y'all put
I am.
positive pressure on her. All right, y'all. We love y'all.
Enjoyed it. Good night, y'all.
Good night, everybody.